Today's the day. As the Chicago Bears veterans report to training camp, we had a press conference from Matt Eberflus, Caleb Williams, Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, and more. So we're going to talk about all that, things that come out of that press conference. And as it's Friday, we're going to jump into the mailbag. All that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. So the press conference just ended as I started recording this for the Chicago Bears opening of training camp. And this is a exciting time for Bears fans for a lot of reasons. It's a kickoff to a new season, a new era for the Bears in a lot of ways as well. And that kind of feeling and vibe was felt all throughout this press conference. When you look at Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles coming out to address it first, it just felt like they're really excited about what this new phase is. Now, they were asked tough questions as far as about Caleb Williams being named as the starter, even asking if they would have rather had a competition or a veteran or an apprenticeship program. And they basically just doubled down on the fact that they drafted Caleb Williams to be their starting quarterback and that he's adapted to it well. Matt Eberflus even saying that, giving him the full playbook and things like that. Those are things that you want to hear in regards to your new quarterback that's coming in as your starter. And I know some Bears fans have also raised the concern of, should we have thrown him right out there? Should there have been a little of a transition process before he takes over? But it seems like Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus are extremely confident on what Caleb Williams is bringing here and basically didn't want to delay the process of what is the inevitable of him starting off to be that starting quarterback for the NFL and for the Chicago Bears. And for what it's worth, when Caleb was asked about it, he talked about adapting, learning the playbook, learning the players, excited to get out there with them. Even DJ Moore and Cole Kmet both, when they were out there, talked about how, the way that he adapted and learned the playbook and, said that it comes down to how he leads the locker room, but very much felt confident in how he commanded the huddle already in training camps and things like that. So it seems like right now, when it comes to Caleb Williams, everybody is excited. And, that question was asked to almost everybody who came out there as well, is the excitement. Now, Cole Kmet did say, he comes into every season wanting to compete for a Super Bowl and having that expectation, but just talked about how the talent they have on this team. And that's one thing as well throughout this press conference that you really felt from the players. And it's not just like a word salad or word vomit, that they feel really confident about the talent that they have in here. Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards were out there, asked about, the fact that DJ Morris called them a top 5 defense and how they plan on if they feel like this is a top 5 defense. And Tremaine Edmonds even asked, asked and said he signed with this team when they were a 3-13 team. And now this is a team that actually has expectations around it. He said that he learned early into his career to always come in and it's about the process, right? And TJ Edwards talking about the fact that he's from Chicago, so most of the people in his phone are Bears fans and the excitement around it. So the excitement is the overarching thing to really take away from this, in my opinion, is that it seems like everybody is really excited about what this next phase of the Chicago Bears are and confident in what they could bring. Even Rome Odunze's talking about what he could learn from the wide receivers that's ahead of him and things like that. So it seems like everybody has the right mindset. Now, that's easy to have at this point before training camp even starts. Everything's supposed to happen with that. But outside of that, Ryan Poles was asked specifically about the defensive edge position. And he said that he doesn't feel like there's a gap. He doesn't like that word. He doesn't want to measure it up and call it a gap in the defensive edge position, but that they have guys that they're coming in, that they can't wait to see how they stack up with pads on. And it is going to be something that Eric Washington and the guys are looking at and reviewing. And so, even saying that, they want to see before they go out and get any type of veterans or anything like that, what they have here in the building. And that's nothing that's really too surprising. We've kind of expected that for it to be that for sure. And to hear that that's continued, all good things there. And so, when Ryan Poles, between being asked about the defensive line, being asked about the quarterback situation and things like that, and what went into some of the decisions made this offseason, a level of confidence comes out through all of that. Everybody right now seems confident in the talent that they've brought in here and the expectations that are in front of them as a team. DJ Moore talking about bringing in Swift and Keenan and the other players that they've brought in here and how those things are going to congeal and mesh together throughout training camp. And that's what this training camp process is for, is everybody getting on the right page. And I already talked about how he sung the praises of how Caleb Williams really commanded the huddle already. So those things are all pointing in the right direction for the Bears. And like I said, the confidence that's here overall in this roster, that Ryan Poles feels very adamant and confident about the talent that they have here. Even asked about the offensive line, for example, saying they're excited to get everybody out there with that offensive line. He does feel like he's done enough with that offensive line to come in and help it, and that it can be a better offensive unit. And Matt Eberflus has echoed those sentiments as well. I would have loved to hear from Shane Waldron. We didn't in a case like this. That's fine. We heard from most of the people we need to hear from. But overall, when you look at this training camp, and when you look at this press conference, and just the level of confidence that comes through it, and the fact that they can't wait to have the position battles, that they feel confident that is something that's unique to this version of the Bears, right? We haven't always had head coaches and teams that expect and that welcome the position battles at every position. And that is something that is starting to become part of Bears cultures, that if you bring it in training camp, you can earn it, you can keep it pushing. It's not about where you were drafted. It's not about how long you were here. It's about you earning that. And so overall, just this training camp, this was a great way to really kind of jumpstart it, because for me, hey, listen, it got me hyped. Now, I was already hyped. You don't need to do a lot to get me hyped about Chicago Bears football. Hell, this is why I do this, right? So I'm always going to be hyped about Bears football. But just hearing from all those guys, man, and the fact that it's not like a situation where it seems like anybody's trying to sell anything. This seems like a genuine situation where a lot of these players, the coaching staff, they're really confident. And that's the one thing to take from it. Now, going into training camp confident is one thing. We got to see how that confidence is going to pay off. And is that going to turn into more wins for the Chicago Bears team? Because that is the thing that everybody wants to see. Is this team going to win more? And that's the biggest question here. And one that can't be answered until it's on the field, right? Even talking about getting, I think Matt Eberflus said around 55 snaps is what they want to get Caleb Williams. When you look around what other people did last year in the league and things like that, I think that's a really good number. That's not the first time he said something like that. So that's clearly the mandate that they're going by, is wanting to get that snap count up for him in preseason. But overall, at this roster right now being at 89 people, they could probably sign another guy to bring it to 90 by in training camp. But it's a lot of questions and things that are going to go around, and we'll see what answers we get for this Bears team. But overall, really excited about the start of training camp here. You guys already know we're going to be covering it like no one else does right here at Chicago Bears Central. But with that said, it is Friday, so this episode is still mainly built around your voicemails. And this one's from Darius.
What's going on, y'all? Darius from Dallas here. I got a little bit of a two-part question, man, and I'm going to start off with I think people are putting a little bit too much pressure on that. Caleb, is Caleb going to have the same career path as a Pat Mahomes? Okay, I think that should not be the question. The question should be, can Shane Waldron give him the same support and understanding and guidance that Andy Reid gave Mahomes? You go back, you look at where it was when Mahomes first came in here, man. Actually, him and Caleb have a lot of similarities as college prospects, and then they came in, and Andy Reid allowed him to still be him while staying in the structure of the offense. That's harder to say, harder to teach than just about anything else when it comes down to that quarterback. So if you're going to let him, be himself and whip that ball around, but still staying in the structure of the offense, man, that's hard. And the second question that I got is, I'm out here in Dallas, so of course I'm seeing all the stuff about the Cowboys, man. It's looking like Jerry's about to pack it up and go into rebuild mode here, man. And I don't think he's going to keep some of these stars if that's the case. Everybody out here is thinking he's about to sell this team, and he's probably going to do a little garage sale, with some of these top tier guys. And I have my eye on Micah Parsons. You throw him on the other side of Montez Sweat, that's a Super Bowl. Period. That's a Super Bowl. I don't think that the Cowboys are going to have the salary cap to re-sign all of them. I know they're not, because they account for if they sign all of them, that would be like 130, 140 million. And that's more than half of their salary cap on 3 players. They ain't going to do that. So I'm thinking, man, with all of the draft capital that we got, man, why not put a package together and just throw it out there and see if the Cowboys will take it? I'm willing to give up this year's first and 2 seconds, to get Micah Parsons back. Not back, but to get Micah Parsons, man, and throw him on the other side of Montez, and we're going to the fucking Super Bowl with that guy. We're the best defense in the league with that guy, with what we already have. This will be probably with him. I realistically feel like this will be the best defense that the NFL has seen within the past 10 years. So that's just my personal opinion on that, man. I think a fire sale is coming here pretty soon with the Dallas Cowboys. And I'd like for us to go ahead and throw an offer out there, to see if that apple will fall in our basket, you know. But let me know what y'all think about that. And dadgummit, text us up there now.
All right, so, too much pressure on Caleb to be Mahomes. I think that's more a narrative thing. I don't think, I won't say anybody. There are some people that's looking at that, but I agree with you. It's about how much he can develop and how, Shane Waldron helps that. But I got a bone to pick with you, Darius. You basically left this same voicemail. You just didn't put the Patrick. I get it. You want to talk to us. We're brothers. I want to talk to you too, bro. But you didn't have to leave basically the same voicemail twice in the same week, my brother. But this part that wasn't the same voicemail, little joke there towards Darius, is Micah Parsons. Here's the thing about Micah Parsons. Yes, adding him would instantly be a Super Bowl caliber defense. You look at him being 25 years old, 14 sacks last year, 36 total tackles. He hasn't had in his NFL career, the least amount of sacks that he's had is 13. But you got to get into the thing of his contract. He is up either next year it's going to be an option at $21 million, or you have to give him an extension immediately. And unfortunately, the Bears are starting to get to the place where you have to start thinking about these extensions. You got a lot of players that you've drafted that have extensions coming up, right? We already know Tevin's up for one. We don't know if he's going to get one or not, but Tevin is up for one. You got Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, that whole class that's going to be up for one eventually as well. And down the road, you got other things coming as well. So the Bears are starting to get to that place where they have to start thinking about what they're going to do with some of those extensions. And because of that, you got, not to say that Michael Parsons isn't worth it, right? But you got to start thinking about that. And maybe the Bears are willing to take on that risk because he is such a great player to pair with Montez Sweat. But it is something that you just have to start thinking about over that time as well. And I just wanted to point that part out also. But great prospect. If the Cowboys do decide to blow it all up, they start selling off assets, you can get Michael Parsons out of that. I'm not mad at that at all. That's my thought process. But let's get into this next voicemail. This one's from Fred.
Hey, yo, Haize, what up, man? It's your boy Fred. What it do? Down to the season get here, man. I know we got preseason first and all that good shit, though, man. But I'm just ready for football to start back, you feel me? So let the real shit begin, man. Shit. Hey, let me ask you this, man. Let's say if Ryan Bates putting that work in at guard, right? Him and Tevin. And then all of a sudden you get Nate Davis come back. Do you think that's fair to them to let Nate Davis start over there and they've been at all since day one, putting that work in, starting and shit, and building that chemistry, that O-line? Because me personally, hell no. I either, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and cash Nate Davis check out, go ahead and pay off his contract, and either release him or send him to another team, man, because like Ryan Posner said, it's time for us to start winning. It's time for us to be respected. It's time for us to take the North and never get it back. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sick of, you know what I'm saying, our team being a laughing stock and people not respecting our team at all, man. And I'm just over that shit. We see every other team doing good. You know, why not the Bears? And we got the talent. So I'm not counting on paper. I want to see the work they put in on that field when week one starts. I'm not talking about preseason. Of course, you know, we need preseason to see what the team looks like, see who's going to stay, who's going to get cut or whatever. But we don't need a guy like that on the team that's hurting the team. That's a cancer to the team, man. So I want to know, man, like, do you think we keep him? Or, like, do you think Ryan Poles might end up doing something like pay off the rest of the contract that he owe him and just send him either to a team to get a pick or just cut him? And also, everybody keep forgetting about Roshan, man. I think Roshan gonna have that number 2 spot, and Khalil Herbert might end up getting traded. I don't think Ryan Poles gonna cut him. I think Ryan Poles might end up getting a pick for him because, you know, Ryan Poles always like to have some picks just in case, you know, as a backup plan, you feel me? So, and also, man, people definitely forgetting about Terrell Smith because they all they focusing on is just the starters we got. Yeah, not knocking Kyle Gordon or, you know, any of the DBs we got though. But yeah, Terrell Smith, sleeper. You know what I'm saying? So I was sitting here, you know what I'm saying? I know times I called in was like, hey, maybe we should put him at safety or something. I don't know, but I think we should go on here and leave him in the corner. Let me know what you think about that, man. Chicago up, better out or nothing.
All right, Fred. Listen, I get it that the Nate Davis narrative, and I get what you're saying. And as far as chemistry, we don't know. This team very well could support what Nate Davis is going through, right? The thing that I think about it is you're not just going to cut Nate Davis. He has a fully guaranteed year left on his deal afterwards. You're not going to cut him. He has no incentive to buy it out. And the fact of the matter is that if Nate Davis is on and healthy, he still offers the best player right now to probably play at that position. It's about talent, not the narrative. I get it. Yeah, I'm disappointed as well that he hasn't been ready to go. But like I said, all that narrative crap goes away if he's ready day one in training camp and he's practicing, he's engaged. I'm not worried about anything that came before then. If Nate Davis offers you the best player to play that guard position, you play him. You don't worry about cutting him. Yes, he went through his thing. Yes, he had his injury history. But at that case, are we looking at removing Tevin Jenkins because he's great when he's on the field, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy? No. Nothing's going to be perfect. And yes, I would love for a world to be perfect, but harping in on the Nate Davis thing at this point, I know I've talked about it as well. Like I said, let's wait and see. If he's ready when training camp, the pads are on, they're practicing, if he's out there engaged and ready to go, that's the most important thing because he is still a damn good guard when he's healthy. And that's why the Bears signed him, and that's why the Bears gave him a guaranteed deal. How much of that can you still get out of him? If you can, you got him locked in, $10 million, $20 million over the next 2 years. Just lock in and play. And that's the thing that I'm more so worried about when it comes to Nate Davis. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to play? That's the thing that I'm focused on. Now, as far as Roschon Johnson as the running back too, I definitely think that that's a possibility. I'm not saying for sure, but I definitely think that it's a possibility. And it comes into how much has Roschon grown from last year to next year, and this coaching staff, especially the new offensive staff, really likes Roschon Johnson and the change of skill set that he has from a DeAndre Swift, whereas Khalil Herbert is very kind of similar to DeAndre Swift in a lot of ways, even though they have their own differences. So that's the thing I'm looking at for, but we should get that answer within the next 2-3 weeks, right? So we'll see what comes about that. But Roschon's going to be given the opportunity, I have no doubts, to see what he can bring, and it may very well end up with him winning that running back 2 position. All right, let's get into the next voicemail. This one's from Booker.
Yo, Haize, what's good, man? This book, blessings to you and yours. We are here, man. First practice tomorrow, man. I'm excited. I'm, feeling good about this season, this upcoming season. Feeling good about the team. Feeling good about the coaching. I just feel good, man. I got a good feeling about the team. I do gotta say one thing, for shits and giggles. Sometimes I just listen to some of the media shows. Like I'll play a couple clips. I don't watch that shit. I just play a couple of clips. And I heard one yesterday, man, that actually made me laugh because of how stupid it was, from Booger McFarland. This man sat up there and said that he feels that Caleb Williams will struggle because he's a rookie. And then in the same voice turned around and said, but Jaden Daniels is going to take off. I'm sorry, is he not a rookie too? Did he not get drafted in the same draft? Like, what are you talking about? So the one guy who has the overall better surrounding structure, and we can truly say that with Caleb, is going to struggle. But the other guy who, team is a little dysfunctional, not too much, but a little dysfunctional. He's going to just take off and go and ain't going to have no trouble at all. It makes no sense, man. That's why I don't understand, man. I need to switch up my game, man, because I can just go on TV and say the stupidest shit and get paid for it, and then people will, listen to what I have to say, because you have some of the same people in some of the chats and stuff saying the same thing, which is just dumb. But that's it, man. That's all I wanted to say, man. You're just excited about the upcoming season and training camp, man, and excited to hear, T-Dub make them calls, man, the best in the game right now. But I'm going to let you go. Shout out to you and yours. Blessings. Chicago up, bear down. Have a good weekend.
I definitely get what you're coming from on that, and it is some narrative issues in there. But here's what I'll say. You got to keep in mind that when they're having the conversations in a vacuum, a lot of draft experts had Jaden being more pro-ready than some of the other quarterbacks in there, but a player like Caleb Williams having a higher ceiling, having more potential. So when you hear things that he may have a better season or whatever, I think it's not just about the teams, which that should play a part, but it's also in the fact that they looked at Jaden coming from a more pro-ready system, those type of things where he may be better ready, whereas Caleb Williams may go through the up and downs. But don't overlook also that there's the Chicago bias in that. The fact that we haven't ever developed a quarterback, the fact that we always seem to disappoint at that position with our offense and not live up to our potential, there's some of that as well. And while I don't necessarily agree with what some of the pundits are saying in regards to Jaden McDaniels and Caleb Williams here over the last day or so, I understand some of it. But it's up to Caleb to prove it wrong. And, when it comes down to it, they're trying to find an angle. They're always going to look for the story in the national media. And that's why we aren't necessarily focused on narrative here. We're just trying to talk about our favorite team. But I agree with a lot of what you said there as well, Book. All right, let's get into this next voicemail. This one's from Jay.
Yo, it's just Jay right here. It's been a minute, nigga. Wow, it's been a while, but the season is almost here, so I'm already concocting my little thoughts and plans on things. And this is one thing that I'm really thinking. I think you guys have talked about it before. I think it's one of the most talked about things that we've talked about all season. But the Bears, to me, are a shut-in for the playoffs. Not even a question. And I understand we have the NFC North to look over, but I refer back to the things that I've said on these calls before. When I was calling last year, especially early last year, a lot of people were talking about how, Justin Fields got to do better, this, that, and the third. And my whole defense on Justin Fields was, hey, if you put Justin Fields on the 49ers, well, damn it, you have a playoff team, and they might go to the Super Bowl, and they might win because, Justin Fields may not be the best passer, but what he can do with his legs is amazing, and that team is built well enough that all you have to do is be pretty good as a QB, and y'all can do well. You know what I mean? And I believe that the moves that we made this offseason, along with the moves that we made last offseason, and just building the draft pick and things like that, and being able to get Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze while also having Keenan Allen and bringing in the extra tight ends and extra support that we need, we looking like a San Francisco light. We not San Francisco. No, we're not San Francisco. But we are like a San Francisco light. You know what I mean? If we can figure out some defensive things, if we can figure out and solidify that offensive line for real, you have somebody like Keenan Allen with DJ Moore and Swift and the tight ends, and if the line solidifies itself, and you're not looking at a Brock Purdy type, you're actually looking at somebody who could end up being an Andrew Luck type if he plays well enough, a Patrick Mahomes type, even though I don't like to put that on anyone until it's proven. Either one of those guys, but definitely not Patrick Mahomes. But if he proves it, he proves it. But yeah, I believe that this team is going to the playoffs because if there's one team that beat Green Bay the most, the Niners. And if we can be the Niners light, if we can figure out what the Niners do to beat Green Bay, I feel like the rest can fall into place. Tell me what y'all think. Chicago up. Bet down.
Listen, I don't know why is so focused on comparing this to the 49ers. Like, why are the Niners the team that you're focused on comparing this to? I don't know if I agree with that. Like, maybe it's just something I'm not seeing. I don't know if we're Niners light or anything, and I don't need us to be. I need us to be the Chicago Bears. I need us to be the team with this amount of weapons that goes out there and use them. I need us to be a versatile offense that rotates and does those type of things. That's what I need to see from this team. I don't care about us being compared to anything else, like to the 49ers at that. I want us to be the best version of who we are. And I do think, to take away from us compared to the Niners, I do think that we should have the goal of the playoffs. When you look at our defense, when you look at those type of things, the talent that we have offensively, there's no reason to believe or not to believe that we can't contend for a playoff spot. But they got to show it, and they got to go over the hurdles and the things that are going to come over the course of the season and how they deal with that, how well Caleb Williams adapts over the course of the season as well. That's going to be big parts of us getting there. But I do think we have the framework, we have the ability, we have the talent, especially defensively, of being that team that should be having our eyes set on the playoffs. I said it a little while ago and a few episodes ago. It's no longer about just rebuilding. We are building, but winning at this time. We're trying to get wins. That's what this team needs to be focused on, is getting those dubs so that we can get some postseason berth. And that would be great for Caleb Williams' development, Rome Odunze's development, the players that have already been here for the last couple of years that we've drafted since Ryan Poles have come in, to get that playoff experience, to know what that's like, to know what the playoff atmosphere is like. That's the next step of the development for this team. Let's hope that we can get there. All right, let's get into the next voicemail, the last one. This one's from DeJuan.
Hey, the Come Gang Boys, Bobby C. Steve-O. I've been listening to y'all. Y'all been cutting up, and I've been liking the views y'all been giving on y'all opinion about certain things and what's going on with the Chicago Bears. And I've been chiming in. Hey, I understand. Y'all know when it comes to if they can help the team, bring them on. I'm the same way, but I'm like, I'm like our boy X, Xavier. I don't want no more Green Bay Packers. We got enough right now. You know, like, I don't even remember when one came to Chicago and played good. I think it was, Matt Slauson, if he played for Green Bay at the time, when we got him in free agency. But outside of that, you know, I like what's going on. Y'all talking about the running back battles. Like, I got a good feeling that it's not gonna be our three receivers that carry us. I think it's gonna be Swift, Cole Kmet, and Everett. Like, DJ Moore gonna do his thing. I don't think he gonna regress, and I don't think Jalen Johnson gonna regress. So I think they gonna actually ascend and do better. But it ain't gonna be no career set marks for DJ Moore. I think he's still gonna get over that 1,000 yards. And I think Keenan Allen, if he's starting and not a Rome Odunze, he gonna get his 1,000, because if we never had a 4,000-yard passer, even if you give all three receivers 1,000 yards on the dot, that's 3 bands right there. You know what I mean? You still got Cole Kmet, Everett, Swift to get over that other 1,000 to reach 4,000. So I think it could be 3 receivers with over 1,000 yards. Cole Kmet topping out close to 1,000, like the way he was at last year, close to 800, around 800. But Everett and Swift is what's going to help get more yards to get over that 4,000, because if we able to do that, to see Caleb Williams do that in his rookie year, that'll be good. He need to make history. And that's the way he can do it. He got the weapons, so you never limit it. So he can get that 4,000, even with spreading that ball around. So if he don't get it, that means we had a good year as an offense still, but kind of regressed, as in having that top-notch receiver who was go dog out like DJ Moore did. Not saying DJ Moore gonna be bad, but he gonna do his thing anyway. I don't give no fuck who we got next to him. He gonna get his touches. So Chi-Town up, bat down.
Listen, I get it. Getting to 4,000 yards would be great. It's cool. I'm not focused on the numbers. I'm really not. Like, I do we have the capability of getting it? Yeah, especially if all wide receivers get over 1,000. Yeah, that's definitely probably a 4,000-yard passing season. But I don't care. I'm here for the wins and the development. I get put in a lot of pressure. We have a quarterback that's supposed to be generational. I get all that, and why people have those expectations that they have and they carry. I don't care if as long as he's being solid, growing. I would love to can we get a quarterback that throws more touchdowns than interceptions, right? Those type of things. Can we get a solid QB rating over the time? It's not just about it. There have been a lot of great, amazing quarterbacks that didn't throw for 4,000 yards their first seasons, that maybe didn't even have good first seasons in the NFL. I want Caleb Williams to have a good season where he's growing, where he's development, and then this team is doing the right things to get wins. Worry about stats at a later date. I'm not coming into that saying that, Caleb, I'm not saying that you are either, but for those that are, I'm not saying that Caleb got to get 4,000 yards for it to be a success. I don't care. Let's go out and get those dubs. Let's get in the postseason. Let's compete in our division. That's the thing that I'm kind of more focused at. But you guys can always let me know what you guys think down below. But that's my time for today, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow us at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. Again, that's 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. That's thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.